Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Friday. It's Friday night, you made it. What are you doing to celebrate on Friday night? What are you doing tonight? Let me know. Comment down below. Are you hanging out with your spouse? Are you going out with friends? What are you doing? What do you prefer to do? I accept all people here because I love unconditionally, guys. I know what it's like to be in the world, and I also know what it's like to be in God's kingdom. I'm now a representative of God's kingdom, but I still have fun. We're going to have some great leftovers probably because my husband made this great flank steak and chicken with veggies and cheese, and we're probably just going to heat that up because we had so much of that, and I'm probably going to have a margarita just to celebrate the end of a great week. Please keep our dogs and horses in prayer. We weren't able to see the horses today. My husband got called into the firehouse. My husband is a fireman and EMT, so he loves that I'm doing this to help others with their faith and their finances. Right? So I have a unique source. His name is Mr. Sandman. It's not that government program you've heard of. We just came up with that name because there's two of them. There's Sandman 1 and Sandman 2. Mr. Sandman himself has a military background. He actually achieved the level of lieutenant colonel. So he's high up, and he gives us intel. He is part of the coalition forces in Iraq. If you want to hear from him directly, he was interviewed for my Miracle Manifestation members. I keep a lot of that over there for my members because, there's a lot of trolls, a lot of haters over here, right? So I'm just loading the basics. So he said there's not much coming out, but he said, but here is the side note that they have destroyed 3 ISIS hideouts this week so far, along with the terrorists, and the government's vision to activate non-oil resources. Guys, they're working on basically expanding their resources to not just have their income from oil, which is what they've been asked to do by Davos, right? So there's a lot of good information that happened, and now it's kind of come to a halt this week. They did also ask for the resumption of the Senate, their Senate to start again tomorrow. So, but he said there was an international agreement supporting job creation and revitalizing the local economy in Iraq. So that was an international agreement. Again, they're working with all their international partners as any global country would do that is recognized globally, which they are. They were at Davos along with JP Morgan and the Central Bank of Iraq. It says, let's see, who was this with? They've met with so many people. Oh, with Germany, with the German embassy in Iraq to support job creation and revitalize the economy in Iraq. The head of the International Organization for Migration's mission in Iraq, Giorgio Giari, said in a speech during the signing of the agreement, which was attended to by obviously a lot of people. It said, today, the 6th phase of the International Organization for Migration's partnership was signed. Guys, they were working with every company. That was Germany. Yesterday or earlier today, he announced that they were working with Spain, I think. Good morning. After more than 3 decades, do you know what this article means? And says, major development, strategic projects, and productive economic partnerships. This was an article that says, Al-Sudani, Iraq is moving towards major development and strategic projects and productive economic partnerships. It says, let's see, it's the top thing. It is working with Thursday, a delegation of secretaries and governors of Arab capitals headed by the Secretary General of the Arab Cities Organization, Abdul Ramar Hassam Al-Fasfar. In the beginning of the meeting, Al-Sudani welcomed the Arab guests in their meeting that was held in Baghdad after a break that lasted more than 3 decades, stressing Baghdad's permanent readiness and ability to host all its guests, whether they are Arab brothers or friends. It said Iraq is moving towards major development. Al-Sudani stated, at a time when we are searching for the best ways to develop and advance our cities, Gaza stands out before us because of the systematic destruction, ruin, and lack of the most basic means of livelihood due to the aggression and inhumane crimes committed by the occupation authorities against our Palestinian people here. He reiterated his support for establishing a fund to support and reconstruct the Gaza Strip after the cessation of the aggression, which is the initiative launched by Iraq during the 2023 Cairo Peace Summit, which was held last October and was greatly welcomed. So they're working towards peace. The World Court is hearing the case too. That was news as of today. There's a lot going on, and as God told me, he gave me several prophetic words about this wealth transfer. Kim Clement also said it would happen when America seems at its worst. So what do you think? Do you think this is about to happen? A lot of us do. It said, and Mr. Sandman is going to remain after the pullout. After the pullout of some of the U.S. will remain at the oil fields, providing private security and political experts supporting the governments. Can you say international without saying it any louder? Rashid calls on Spanish businessmen and companies to work in Iraq. So they are doing so many things, guys. There's a lot of good news when you look at the bigger picture, but day to day, sometimes it appears slow, which most of the U.S. sources are saying that it appears slow. So today, but it's just par for the course, guys. They're going to remain silent. They're not going to tell you when it's going to happen. It's just, they're not going to tell you when it's going to happen, but everything's in place. So now I'm going to go to the U.S. Summaries, which is totally different than what you'll hear directly out of Iraq, in my opinion. That's why Sandman is such a critical part of my team. So I hope you will subscribe and tap the bell. This is Sandy. It says, as investors, we have a vested interest in the country's well-being. The U.S. Pentagon official statement about Iraq, quote, let me be clear, the HCM meeting is not a negotiation about the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Iraq. The United States and the coalition are in Iraq at the invitation of the Iraqi government to fight ISIS. Our Iraqi partners have assured us their commitment towards working together to shape this future on U.S. military presence and enduring the defeat of ISIS. Mark Z said it's very quiet out of Iraq and quiet on the banking side. Question is this weekend a possibility? Mark Z's opinion, it is definitely a possibility. Caparoni says, article, U.S. and Iraq agreed to start talks to end presence of U.S.-led coalition. But again, there's differing opinions like there is on a lot of things, right? So just hang in there. Stay positive. This was Frank26. It said, Soudani is on TV saying Iraq is on the verge of a transformation project. Frank said, every day Soudani is joining in the direction of your new exchange rate and your new national currency. He tells you there's a new direction occurring. Yeah, from a program rate to an international rate. And of course, we need to always keep in mind the Iraqi citizens who've been struggling a long time. And I know we've been struggling here for what seems like a long time in America. It's only been a few years. So it says we are close to ending the phenomenon of parallel markets. And the prices are heading to decline. You guys are running out of ways to tell the citizens that they're about to get their new exchange rate. And the CBI had a meeting on that subject. Militiamen said they're working currently underway to end the so-called parallel markets. The dollar will not be exchanged except at the rate approved by the Central Bank of Iraq. The office exchange rate gives 10 to 20 points on one side or the other, that 1310. Quote, the parallel markets will greatly decline and cease over the next few days. And according to militiaman's opinion in his crew, I'm fairly certain that if they apply a real effective exchange rate, gradually is going to be a thing of the past, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it works out. Then there's Pimpy. You don't have to change your exchange rate in order to be in the World Trade Organization. That's his opinion. What do you think? Comment down below. Paulette says, if they are truly heading to a simple 3 decimal place space move on their exchange rate, and they are heading to 1.31 USD to 1 Iraqi dinar, they would have to make another move first. She's saying they'd have to move to 763.4 from 1310. What do you think? She said, as of now, a simple decimal move of 3 places would mean 1310 Iraqi dinar to 1 US dollar. That would become 1.310 Iraqi dinar to 1 US dollar, or 76% per dinar. What would you think? Would you take 76 cents? Depends on how much you have. Would you like to turn in one of your... if you need cash right away, I wouldn't have a problem with it. And don't worry about the double dipping thing. If you join me on a group, we have a group on Saturday, we can talk about it. That is something that I think they've made a big deal out of nothing because of what I discuss on my groups. So remember to ask me that if you join me on the group tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Newshound Guru Samson, Parliamentary Finance, we're close to ending the phenomenon parallel market. Everybody's agreeing. But I loved Frank's summaries the most. Right? And Frank summarized, he said, do you have liquidity to back up your currency? Yeah, they showed it. Do you have supervision / overview of your monetary reform? That's why the United States Treasury was explaining to the IMF and then the IMF, right? Okay, good. Can you monitor your banks? Yeah. Well, that's good with us. You are Basel III compliant. This is huge. Guys, remember, JP Morgan was sitting with the Central Bank of Iraq contact and Soudani at Davos. Guys, they are like... ready to go, in my opinion. And Mark, somebody asked if it was going to go this month, right? We have 6 days left. He goes, I think it's possible. Or 5 days left after today. I think it's possible. I'm hopeful we'll get an announcement this month. Even if not, we don't make it to the banks. Amen. Any kind of forward progress is great. But guys, you need to understand, big picture, the progress they've made in this fiscal year, this calendar year, whatever year you want to focus on, has been bigger than we've ever seen. And join us in a fast if you're Christian. I'm Christian, and I've been fasting and praying with my group. 3-day fast at the beginning of every month to bring this in. And I do believe that God is ushering this in so that we can be free and safe and not worry about the decline that may come as a result of everybody de-dollarizing. So if you like this video, please subscribe, tap the bell. Please share it with other people who need some truth, facts, and optimism. That's how I roll. I don't talk date and rates. I just give you the truth, facts, and optimism as we have been told that we can share from the people on the ground, my contacts over there. And then I read the summaries of everybody else. Why? Because I think there's a need for that. If you're working really hard, you can come here, get a daily summary of 10 to 12 minutes, and you can move on with your life, and I'll keep an eye on it for you. God bless you. Have a great day. Again, I love you as brothers and sisters in Christ, but I don't care if you're in the kingdom or not. It doesn't matter to me. If you're a fellow investor in this, please subscribe and tap the bell. Talk to you later. Bye.